And it was wonderful because when they started the Institute of Religious Science and School of Philosophy back in 1918, 1919 when it first developed, and then came to a ongoing powerful experience about 1927, and the Science of Mind magazine, which started in 1918, the first thing they did was contact Christian D. Larson to come and be the editor of the magazine. And I have all of those magazines from that period. It is my treasure. And it is absolutely wonderful because here's the thing, and how many know this is true? With the metaphysical writers throughout the age, when you read them, it sounds like they wrote it this morning. Everything they write is timeless. We talk about all these new books and things, and new books are great, especially if you have mine. It's The Power of Positive Purpose. It's in the bookstore. But my book was influenced by them, and all the great metaphysical writers were influenced by other metaphysical writers who were influenced by, and you keep going back and back and back all the way back to Aristotle, okay, and in the East all the way back to Lao Tse, Sri Aurobindo, the Bhagavad Gita, all these great teachings and writings. You take it all and you find the golden thread and you put it in today's language. Guess what you have? The science of mind. You have religious science. You have something that says to you there's something in you greater than you think you are. All you have to do is go within and discover it, and then do what? Let it out. Everyone say it's not enough just to know about it. In 1 Timothy 6:6 it says, but goodliness, godliness with contentment is great gain. Is great gain. We celebrated Good Friday. It was originally called God Friday. Somebody said, what do we call the infinite? And some German said, Gut. And they thought he said God. Oh, okay, we'll call it God. It is infinite life. It is everywhere at once. Dr. Holmes says on page 476 of the Science of Mind textbook, the whole being needs to be fed, bread and meat for the body, knowledge and wisdom for the soul, atmosphere and consciousness for the spirit. Okay. You see, we're moving from God, through God, to God all the time. All we have to do is know it and act like it. Not just on Sunday, as Emerson said. Remember, don't you love Ralph Waldo Emerson who says, your religion is what you do with yourself 24/7. It's not where you spend an hour on Sunday. Okay. How many know people who spend an hour on Sunday doing one thing and then the rest of the week doing something else? Okay. It used to, when I first found religious science, and this is why we've always had a strong youth group and children's program in our church, and working with the parents in that way, and we are in the process of moving to the next step of building our youth and junior church program up again. I used to, when I was at Founders Church, I knew a lot of people there. We had 5,000 members. And it was amazing, but I would see people who would come there on Sunday, and then I knew them, and they'd go out Monday and act like they never heard of this. They would bring their children to church on Sunday for junior church, and then instead of being an example of what the kids were learning on Sunday morning, they were being an example of something else. Okay, this is why I always recommend if you bring your children to junior, find out from the junior church teachers what the kids have learned, and then go home and be a model of it that week. If you do, you will have healthy adults when they hit adulthood. Okay, you're nodding your head and you're sitting next to one. Who was raised to sit here. Everyone say, life never exists apart from that which sustains it. The content atmosphere determines my life. See, how many know that a content atmosphere will determine your life in a healthy way? Okay. How many know that you can refuse any verdict that's going on in your world and be another verdict in action? It doesn't matter what the world sees or how long it's been in place. All you have to do is raise your consciousness higher and operate from a higher and healthier state of consciousness. Now, how many know there's substances that if you put it in your body will poison you? Doesn't that make sense? If there are substances in consciousness that if you put in your mind might very well poison your thinking? Okay. That resentment and anger and reasons for unhappiness, if you keep putting in your mind, what's the body going to do? What's the world around you going to do? You see, if we are what we think about all day long, should we not pay attention to what we're putting into our consciousness? And if we've been putting in things that poison us or put a stone in front of our happiness, all we have to do is roll it away or stop injecting ourselves with this nonsense and begin to affirm. This is why we have the Creative Thought magazine. This is why your wonderful co-pastor dedicates her life to that magazine. And I want to mention that, is it the April magazine? Good. Where's Jill? Is she in the room right now? And yeah, is Jill out there? Yeah. How many know that is Fabian in the April issue? Fabian's in the April issue. One of our members is Fabian's in the April issue, and who else? I think Reverend Celeste has a treatment in this month's Creative Thought magazine. I have a treatment in the Creative Thought magazine, and I have had for 35 years. I've never missed an issue. And this is great. In fact, if you want to know, this is how Cynthia and I met. When she first became editor of the Creative Thought magazine, I picked up the phone and called her. This was 10 years ago, and we knew each other before, but we never really communicated that way. And I said, "This is Dr. J. Scott Neale. I have never missed an issue of the magazine, and I don't intend to." And she said, "Yes, sir." No. You know she didn't say that.